Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Thursday, and we've had a couple days off for a little bit. So we're going to have the Thursday Think Tank today for 2 weeks in a row, the Thursday call-in show. And it's general topic, Raptors, whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about the All-Stars coming up. We can talk about all kinds of different news and things happening around the NBA, Raptors stuff, all that kind of good stuff. Let's start off today with reacting to the 905 getting very, very much beaten by the Maine Celtics yesterday. It was really, really, really bad. Not gonna lie. They ended up getting doubled up for most of the game. Like it was really bad. Like it was like 30-10 right from the start. Maine Celtics just hitting threes like crazy. The final score was 136-95. The score after the first quarter was 43-19, y'all. Ridiculous. One of the fun things about this game was Tony Snell. Tony Snell came out and he didn't play a whole lot of the game, but he came out and scored like the first 12 points of the game, and that's it. He didn't do anything else the rest of the game. He hit like 4 3-pointers in a row. And there's a lot of talk about Tony Snell right now because if a team signs him right now to be on a team, he actually will get pension. So there's people that are out there advocating for Tony Snell to get signed to a team right now because he will get pension with the NBA. If he doesn't, he will miss out on this. So don't drop the ball, NBA family, NBA teams. Take care of Tony Snell. Make sure that this guy, apparently, he's got some issues, and so does his family. So they need the help, and it's just right. The guy's really kind of an NBA player, even though he's been doing G League the last couple of years. I mean, he played most of his career in the NBA, and I think it's just fitting. I mean, the fact that the guy came out there and hit the first 4 threes of the game and was beating the Raptors 905 12-0 himself says something. So do the right thing, NBA, and take care of Tony Snell is what I'm saying right now. Can you guys hear me all right? Or is there a problem with the mic? Let me just make sure you guys can hear me because I'm not seeing it there. Testing. Y'all can hear me, right? All right, let me keep going on the chat. All right, good morning, Raptors family. Cannot wait for tonight to see Pascal and OG. Good matchup. Yeah, apparently there's going to be Siakam with the Pacers versus the New York Knicks tonight. Trying to see. Seems like something's wrong with the mic. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me if you can hear me or not, because I don't know what's going on with the mic. If it is working. Yeah, y'all tell me in the chat, please. Show me in the chat. Yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, I guess that'll be an exciting game to see the two former Raptors going up against each other on their new teams today. Let me just see. Tell me if there's a problem with my chat or not. Trevor J, you are here. You can see me. Tell me if there's a problem with my microphone because I'm not getting a reading on the screen that the noise is going through, but it sounds like noise is going through. So I can't tell. If you guys can help me, that would be good. All right, let's keep going. 3 stars of the game, even in the loss, the depressing, horrible loss. Let's see. Number 1 star I have is Jayshawn Page, which is pretty bad considering he's not usually one of the guys, needs to be one of the main guys. 8 of 16 shooting for Jayshawn, 4 of 8 from 3, 20 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 block. That's the best stat line. He shot 50% from the three-pointer. Yeah, most solid player of the game for the 905, Jayshawn Page. 2nd star is Mohamed Ughi. He just missed a double-double by 1 rebound, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, a minus 30, 7 of 13. He was really bad at the beginning of the game. He couldn't make anything, and then he started making stuff later, which was good, which was very, very good. Yeah, okay, I'm good. Thanks, Cowboy. I appreciate you telling me that because there's no reading. Usually there's little dots on the microphone thing telling me that there is sound going through, but it's not showing it right now. 3rd star For the game is Kyra Lewis Jr., the newly acquired, 6 of 11 from the field, 13 points, a minus 28, 1 for 2 from 3, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Yeah, just overwhelmingly not good for this team. Javon Freeman Liberty was kind of quiet, 5 for 9 with 13 points. Didn't really go crazy in the game like he normally does. Morcell, 8 points, 3 of 7 in his starting role. Kobe Simmons, 5 of 11, 12 points. Nobody really stepping up. Jay Sean Page, the only person with 20 points, and the other side has got like so many guys with so many points. They had like 8 guys in double digits, no, 7 guys in double digits, 2 players in over 20. Yeah, they just killed us. The main Celtics looked way, way better. They were hitting all their threes. They're going inside, and our team just was like garbage. Drake Jeffries, 1 for 5 from 3. He's been really annoying me because like he's supposed to be a 3-point shooter and he's just like garbage from out there. Omari Moore, his great play after his injury it kind of cooled off. Burns, really bad at the free throw line. Miles Burns missing all 4 free throws. And once again, free throws in the 905 are 2 points each. Because you missed that 1 free throw, you're missing 2 points. So yeah, Miles Burns, you really need to get better at your free throws. Kevin O'Banner, 1 for 7, 4 points. Yeah, just really, really bad. Really bad. Raptors 905. Really, really, really bad. Holy crap, so bad. So bad. Trevor's saying, I will be traveling today at 1:30 to Houston for the Raptors game tomorrow. So Trevor J going to Houston to watch the Raptors play Fred VanVleet and the Houston Rockets in Houston tomorrow. That's fantastic, Trevor. I hope you get loud. I hope you're going with a group. I don't know how many people you're going to be there with, but that's awesome that you'll be in Houston for the game tomorrow night. Hopefully the Raptors can do well. We've got some good feelings after the win over Chicago this week, and maybe some promise with players coming back from being injured. That would be fantastic if we could see Jakob Poeltl come back tomorrow, maybe RJ or Emmanuel. That would be great. Cowboy is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Bam. Good to see you, Bradley. Thank you for helping me with telling me that the microphone was fine. Good morning, Trevor J. Let's go, Raptors. I'm very excited for this team. I'm excited, too. I think that like a lot of people, they see how we played and kind of the ideas and things that Darko's doing. And, the more it gets more ensconced, more like taken in the brains of the Raptors and understanding and repetition, the better it can be honed and utilized in a very skillful way that is hopefully very successful. So we'll have to see. I like the idea of it because in some ways, the league is going more offensive. So why wouldn't you get an offensive coach, a coach that really like understands offensive strategies and systems, and hire them this past summer? Why wouldn't you? In some ways, like I've said, Nick Nurse's strategies are not conducive to the way that the league is moving towards. Like the crazy defensive stuff, running around with switches and stuff. In some ways, putting so much effort on defense, even if you're trying to shut people down in the new NBA, that you're not going to get rewarded for that as often as you would if you're going 3-pointer, 3-pointer, 3-pointer. So the pivot of going from Nick to Darko is actually really smart in a lot of ways because this is an offensive league, and this league is only becoming more offensive. Really, really a lot more offensive. Yeah, I'm very excited for this team also. Cowboy saying everyone slam dunk the like button. Thank you, Cowboy. And good morning to Cowboy from Trevor J. Y'all, this is the call-in show. I do have the phone with me. If you feel like calling me today, the number is posted for members on this channel in the community tab, members only visibility, so that you can call me on this phone number anytime during my stream. I will answer it, and we will do live call-ins during this stream today because it's the Thursday Think Tank live call-in show. If you're in the Raptor Freak Facebook chat, Adriana has posted the phone number in there also. So anybody can call at any time. Just check in with me. If you called before, that's fine. You can call again, and we'll just check in with you and see how you're doing this week. And if there's any new topics, whether they're Raptors related or you just want to talk about something in general, you got something that you just want to get off your chest. All right, let's see. We got somebody already. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. I'll put it on the speakerphone. Caller, you're on the air. Who are you?
Hello, fam. It's Fiercey. How's everyone?
Nice. Fiercey's calling once again. Good.
So I said I wasn't gonna call because I have a meeting at 10, but I said let me call quickly.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I'd like to say is, I believe tonight they're announcing the reserves for the All Stars,
Oh.
and I'm calling it. If Scotty's not part of the reserves, I will boycott the All Star weekend. I will not watch it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I can get behind that too, Marie. I think that he has a very strong case. I've seen something on ESPN this morning where they're projecting him not to be an all-star.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. I think that you're right too. I think that his stats are really, really good. And it'd be an oversight. I mean, it really is on the coaches. And hopefully the coaches will give him the recognition, but we'll see. So they're announcing it tonight. Yeah, this will be something. We'll have to find out.
Yes, because at this point, I don't think Ozzy and Pascal have been long enough on the other teams for them to get that recognition. So I'm hoping Scotty does, and if he does, I will watch. But
Yeah.
if not, I won't.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we are going to have any representation at the All-Star game at all in any kind of way, because it really does seem like in some ways, they're really penalizing us for a bad record. And
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any really top-notch three-point shooters to be in the shootout. I don't know if somebody will do the dunk contest. I don't know. In some ways, I'm very confused. And if it is going to be like this, I'll probably join you, Fiercey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then. So that's all I wanted to say.
Fiercey, you're
Have a nice
awesome.
day.
Yeah, I love you, and thank you for calling, Fiercey. I'm glad you could call us before your meeting. And yeah, I think this is a good subject to talk about, the All-Stars. I appreciate you, bless you, love you, Fiercey, and we will talk again
Same
soon.
here. Likewise. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so yeah, this is something that is a hot topic, and they will be get announced tonight, the All-Star reserves. I really do think that Scotty's stats overall and the way he's been going, he's one of the most improved players, that he should get very strong consideration. I think that the NBA also should very strongly consider what Fiercey just said. That a huge part of this whole country, basically, if they're Raptors fans, may not be interested in watching All-Star stuff if there's no Toronto Raptors representation in the whole entire weekend. It's not like the All-Star weekend is just must-see TV. We want to see something like Scotty get his first All-Star NBA. So we'll have to see how that goes, and hopefully it's done fairly. Fiercey, I love you. Thank you for calling me, and call me every time. I love hearing your voice. And also, yeah, this is a good point. I think all of us may be feeling the same way as you, if there's a snub this kind of way for Scotty, because honestly, it shouldn't be like that. All right, let's see. David's saying, I'm a slam dunk you if you're not careful, cowboy. Okay, threaten him with a good time. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. Jimmy Butler is on the trade block. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Miami's got to blow it up. It looks like with Kyle going now, that kind of want to switch the renewal, similar to us, getting rid of some of the older players to go more in the younger direction is what it sounds like. This is crazy, though. Jimmy is such an institution with that team. In some ways, right now, he is like Dwayne Wade. And wow, that's shocking news for sure. And your face, your little emoticon exemplifies it. Yeah, that's crazy. Cowboys saying good. Tell Peter I said what's up. Yeah, what's up, Uncle David, Uncle Peter. Bam, 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 bam. Trevor J's words of wisdoms. Life is a gift, so don't take it for granted. Treat it with care, and in return, it will take care of you. Believe that. There you go. I love that. Yeah, you want to put out good energy to get good energy. That's a really good way to treat your life. David's saying, how's my little guy doing? Does that mean if our life is shitty, we can return it for another? You can try and switch your life. You got to make plans and figure it out, and kind of make changes in your life, and you can get a different life that way, David. There are options out there. You don't have to settle for your life now if you don't want to. Let's see. Cowboys saying he's good, Uncle David. Bam. All right, good stuff. And David's saying that's good. Everyone is good. I hope. Let's go. Yeah. And yes, sir. The team is fun. Cowboy? Loving some of these new heads up in here. He's talking about the new players on the Raptors, Jordan Wara, Bruce Brown Jr. Yeah. Yeah. And Cowboy saying, good morning, Dana. What's wondering what you think of Jordan Walsh since you saw him live? Yeah, he was talking shit. Like in some ways, he was like at the end of the first game, he like I said, he teabagged a bunch of people and dunked it right at the end. And yeah, he's very like adamant player, very intense. He's got an interesting look. He doesn't look that far off from me. Very bald and hairless. And he's kind of scary on the court because he talks a lot of trash and he can back it up. Like he can bomb threes and he goes inside and throws it down on people's heads. So yeah, Jordan Walsh was nasty, 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 nasty for sure. A Cowboy saying Isaac Ganja Farmer, Isaac Ganja Farmer. Dana's saying about Jordan Walsh, he is definitely one that we should keep eyes on. He hit those 2 threes and got us back into the game, but the selfish play of certain people isn't good. Yeah, I mean, listen, we have a habit of going and getting players that are on other G League teams, and they do really well. So maybe Jordan Walsh will be a 905 at some point. All right, let's see who's calling now. All right, caller, you're on the air. Who is this, please?
It's Seymour Pate.
Yes, the sheriff calling in from Alberta, y'all. Seymour, good morning to you. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm just sitting here on the forklift listening to y'all, reading the chat. But I want to hear, what's your take on Chet, man? Did Chet get any bonus points after hitting that game-winning shot last night in your book?
Listen. I've not been watching Chet too closely. I haven't seen that play exactly, Seymour. But I have to say this. Last year I was really hard on Chet because he got hurt in the Pro-Am and he missed his rookie season. And he's come back this year. And honestly, like I cannot deny that him, SGA, and the rest of those guys on the Thunder are doing big things. I cannot deny it. And I can't deny that dude is actually a lot better than I gave him credit. So I amend my views on him. He's definitely second or first in the rookie running as far as rookie of the year. And in some ways, I said at the beginning of the year, Victor's just a clear-cut better player, but I don't know if that's actually true at this point. So I have to eat some crow on him to a degree. So interesting that you circled back and brought up Chet because I have been very critical of him. Go ahead, Seymour.
Yeah, it's definitely neck and neck in the rookie race with Chet and Wembanyama.
Literally neck and neck because they're so slender.
Yeah. Well, another thing too. Where does KD rank in your books now after he turned down that video tribute last night in Brooklyn? Like, how do you see him? Because he sort of changed the way, because usually it's organizations that vilify the players, you know what I mean? Saying the player's toxic and he this and that. But now it seems like he turned the page on them by saying, you know what, it's best you guys don't give me that video tribute. What's your take on that?
I actually really respect Kevin for being real and honest. Like, honestly, I mean, his tenure in Brooklyn was not good. It's not like, there was a lot of toxic and craziness. And in some ways, why would you celebrate that? It's kind of like he's telling them, why do you want to celebrate what happened with me here? Because it was a disaster. That's the way I look at it. I actually have more respect for him because he did say that to them. He's just being real with them. Let's not do some fake shit. Let's not act like we like each other. Let's just fucking be real. All right. You are not happy with me and what happened. It was unsuccessful. It was a failure. And honestly, I wasn't happy in Brooklyn anyway. So don't act like you're my friend. Fuck you. And you can say fuck you to me also. It's kind of like what he's saying.
And the Golden State Warriors manager, he sits up on that ESPN panel regularly with
Bob Myers, the former president.
Yeah. Is that a form of tampering in a way? Like, because if they bring in any players from any team that go on that show, he's sort of sitting right there and they could have a discussion like behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I often worry about this with guys who are involved with teams that go into the media later. I mean, obviously, Doc Rivers has got all kinds of suspicious clouds around him right now. But I will say this, Bob Myers stepped down, and he is not actually involved with the Golden State Warriors in any way right now. He is just straight up media. So he doesn't actually work for the Warriors. But I would worry about him if he has any old allegiances trying to influence people or something like that. But probably not. I don't know. But yeah, he's not actually officially connected to them anymore. That's part of the reason why he can do that job now. I think he had to step down so he could do it. So, yeah. An interesting thing. Did you hear about what Kendrick Perkins said on that show with Bob Myers yesterday about Joel Embiid, Seymour? He said that he thinks that the Sixers should shut down Joel Embiid for the rest of the season because his knee is really a lot worse than people are saying. That they're really going to be risking the future of his career if they push him to play this year, is what he's saying.
That's that Nick Nurse system, right? Run the players into the ground, almost like a Thibodeau type of mentality.
That's what we were saying at the beginning of the year, weren't we, Seymour? That like Nick Nurse is going to run Embiid to the ground, his knee's going to be given out, and well, this is happening now. It's crazy.
And then it's weird because Denver too is calling for an investigation on why Embiid sat out a couple games.
Yeah.
You know, so that's tough. I don't know. His health is. See, the NBA should look into him. If they're gonna throw away Koloko for us, man, you might as well throw away Embiid.
Yikes! Yeah, I mean, honestly, they do have to really balance this with like long-term worrying and about like his whole career over short-term. We're gonna play him this year and try and win a championship this year. That's such a crazy spot for them to be in. And Nick is the craziest coach to be involved in this for this to happen. And they're not winning without him. They're losing games with him out right now. So it's really tough decisions coming for Philly right now.
I got a Philly hat I need to burn. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm probably gonna wait till they get outed in the playoffs and shit and burn on the hat or something. You know?
If you do that, film it and post it and send it to me. I'll post it in our community. Seymour, man, I know you're at work because you said you're on the forklift, and I appreciate you calling me, man, from Alberta this morning and talking some hoops with me, man. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday, and let's start February right, man?
Let's go.
That's right. Go up from here. That's right. We're bottoming out as a team right now with all the changes in the trades, the departure of Siakam and Anunoby. Well, it's only one way to go up, and that's what you just said is up. That's right. We're going up.
Straight up. All right, man. Y'all have a good morning. Stay solid.
Seymour, man, I appreciate you for all the work you do as far as a mod on my channel for a couple of years now, and I just appreciate you being the sheriff, my man.
Straight up. I'm going to be Matumbo in this. I'm always waving a finger in the comment section.
Yes. No. All right, Seymour, I love you, man, and I have a great day out there on the Mountain Standard Time, baby. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Yeah, I love it, man. Awesome. Getting to hear from Alberta today. We've heard Ottawa. We've heard Alberta now. Let's see. We get another call from another part of Canada in the next call. We'll have to see. So, wow. Awesome to hear Seymour's voice and get to hear from the sheriff, Seymour Pape, this morning. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Indeed. All right. Let me see where I'm at with the chat real quick. Let's see. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. Happy Thursday. She's saying she can't call in, but she did anyway. And she enjoys the words of wisdom. Trevor J saying that the NBA has fined Anthony Edwards $40,000 for criticizing the refs. Now, the crazy thing about this is he criticized them in a game that they won. Anthony Edwards got fined $40,000 in the game. They won the game. He's like, we won this game in spite of the refs. Y'all suck. I don't care. I'm taking the fine, is what he said. And I'm like, wow, man, that guy's cool. I like that. Yeah. Isaac saying we're good. All right, good. The sound was good. I just can't tell when there's no little green dots on the screen. It's weird. Fiercely saying OG no longer injured. Good for him if he can play. You know what? I'll do an injury report just on the Knicks real quick, just to check up and see if he's going to be back for the matchup against Siakam tonight. That would be real sad if OG can't play. It says he's questionable right now. Elbow and it's questionable. So he's not for sure going to play today against OG and the Sixers and the Pacers. I mean, against Siakam and the Pacers. OG playing him. Yeah, I hope he can play, though. All right, yeah, let's see. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Scotty Barnes, Twitch family 2022. Cat, good morning from Cowboy. Cool Cat saying New York City with OG is already cohesive. Pascal with the Pacers only had one practice, and folks are in and out of the lineup. They need time to be cohesive. Knicks should win. So she thinks that the Knicks should win tonight. because they've had more time together and more cohesive than the Pacers. I don't know, though. If OG's not going to play tonight, that may be tough. And the Pacers, even though they lost the first couple games with Siakam, they're on a win streak now with him. And they're looking a lot more cohesive. I feel bad for Tyrese Halliburton, but in some ways, man, you got to be healthy. You got to take care of yourself. And in some ways, I like the new rule. I know a lot of people are critical of the 65-game rule, but I feel like it's a good thing because there's been a lot of guys in past years that I'm like, this dude played 50 games and he's winning an award. Like, what the fuck is this? Seriously. In some ways, the guys who show up and play a lot of games, you gotta, that's production. That's showing up every day. And some of these guys are lazy and some of them are not totally hurt and they're sitting games. That's why they did this. So Halliburton, I know you're probably legitimately hurt and you may miss out on some postseason awards because of how much you're hurt this year. But you know what? Stay healthy next year and do just as well next year. You'll get all those awards then. In fact, you may be built up to get them in some situations. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll pick the Knicks over this Pacers in this game tonight myself. Where is it? Where is the game tonight? What arena? Is it in New York or is it in? It's in New York. I don't know. Siakam and MSG. We know about that. Siakam and MSG. I'm going to go with your guy, Siakam, Cool Cat. I want to see the Pacers win that game. Trevor's saying we're all going to be there. You're going to go to that game too? I thought you were going to Houston. Okay, you're going to Houston. You're not going to be in New York for that game, are you? Cool Cat saying Fred VanVleet with the Rockets versus the Raptors is going to be a Friday vibe. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Fred's been doing pretty good lately. The Rockets record is very 50-50. We may have a chance to beat them. Now, we have a better chance, of course, if Jakob comes back. Hopefully, we'll hear good news tomorrow, and Jakob Poeltl is ready to suit back up for the Raptors because that would really be a big, huge boost to help us out. That is for sure. Let's see. Where am I? I'm with Randolph Phillips. What's up, beloved Raptor Freaks? Most informative gang. Blessings on you and yours. Use what you are blessed with today to make and leave your mark. Speaking of Mark, well, yesterday we got news that Marc Gasol has retired from professional basketball after a long career of international play and NBA play, winning a championship with our team in 2019. The great Marc Gasol has retired from basketball. And tributes and comments from friends and teammates and old coaches all over the place have been coming out like crazy. Sergio posting something, Jose Calderon, a lot of the old Raptors that played with him, like Serge Ibaka. Let's go look at the Instagram stories real quick. We got a Slim Duck. He's got the video of Mark retiring on his Instagram stories right now. Dennis Schroeder is pleading with everybody to get Tony Snell an NBA contract. NBA family, come on, hook this guy up and help him get his pension. So he's all about it. Dennis is putting it on blast, supporting Tony Snell to get signed so that he can get it. And Dennis has posted the #1 top selling jerseys in Europe. And they're different than the Canada and the US list. And on that list, he's number 8. LeBron #1, Victor #2, Steph Curry #3, Dame Lillard #4, Jason Tatum #5, Anthony Edwards 6, Giannis 7, and then Dennis Schroeder 8, Franz Wagner 9, and LaMelo Ball 10. Those are the top 10 selling jerseys in the continent of Europe. That's not just Germany. That's all over. So Dennis is really excited to be number 8, the number 8 selling jersey in the continent of Europe. Pretty cool. Emmanuel Quickly is posting a picture of the hotel they're staying in Houston. Really, really nice pool with some fire next to it. And then he had a nice menu, a very nice fruity drink. And I can see the Raptors logo on the menu and a little place card says Emmanuel Quickly. It's all nice and professional. And man, the menu, some of the items on there just sound so freaking good. It's like penne, Labelle Ranch, honey whipped butter, pomegranate something, Latuga salad with romaine chiffonade, crostine Parmesan ribbons. Like, what the fuck is this, man? That's some highfalutin food right there. I'll tell you. His choice starters, spaghetti al tartufo, delicacy black truffle Parmigiano Reggiano. Oh man, this is some high class, highfalutin Italian food right here. I'll tell you. So Manuel Quickly getting good food last night at the hotel in Houston. Siakam's got some posts about his PS43, and he's also celebrating Marc Gasol on his retirement, of course, a teammate of his on the championship team. The Raptors are got a home court advantage project coming out where they're doing a game that's going to help indigenous sports and athletes. So learn more. You can help them out. If you play in the OLG home court advantage, it profits for indigenous basketball players, which is pretty cool. Let's see. And then, yeah, the Raptors are also celebrating Marc Gasol's retirement with Have Some Rosé for Us, champ, to Marc Gasol. Scotty Barnes got a picture of him walking into the game against the Bulls the other day, and it says Eternity for Life, Eternity Forever Clothing. So he's putting on blast a clothing line on his Instagram stories. So, yeah, there's the Instagram stories for today. Marc Gasol retired. Yeah, good job, Mark. We love you. You're always going to be a great Raptor. And you're always welcome to come back to Toronto and be an alumni appearance at our games. We love having you back and seeing what you're up to, man. Cool Cat saying, Lex, the NBA is focusing more on offense for marketing purposes. Hardcore defense is only allowed for playoffs. So have to be careful with roster building focus. Yeah, I guess that's true. Like even with all the offense in the regular season, sometimes the postseason, the second season, the defensive side is more crucial and important. So yeah, I guess you're right. Roster focus, building balance, but still, we can't go so heavy on non-skilled defensive players. They're really good defensively, but not good offensively. That's for sure. That's the lesson we've learned recently. That's for sure. Seymour saying, "Let's go streaking. I want to see more wins." Yeah, Seymour on the forklift this morning. Give us a call, man. That was awesome, man. Let's see. Yes, sir, Mr. Mountain Standard Time. That's right. That is right. Jimmy saying, "Morning to the best community on YouTube." Good morning to you, Jimmy Pope. Give me a call, Jimmy. The phone number is on the community tab, Jimmy. If you feel like calling me today, we'll check in with you and hear your voice and see what you got to say in person, man. That'd be awesome. Jimmy saying, I haven't seen any reports on a Butler trade. All I've seen is Kendrick Perkins saying they should trade him. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's not being totally honest. A lot of people are thinking Kendrick Perkins is crazy for his concerns about Joel Embiid this morning, but I don't think so. I think he's a big man, and he understands being in the NBA playing as a big man. And in some ways, he sees stuff like he said. Like, look at Lonzo Ball. Look at him and how long it's taken for him and what's going on with him. And do you want that, Sixers, with Joel Embiid? What's happening to Lonzo Ball? Y'all mess around. You'll find out. You might find out it's like that. I don't know. It's crazy. In some ways, they really, really need to be careful right now. And Sixers Nation, they're used to having good things happen, and then everything comes crumbling down, and it was too good to be true. And in some ways, I don't know. With Joel, it may be like that this year. That his health may be centered around the too good to be true kind of thing that's going on with them and their team this year. So let's see. Fiercey's got Seymour on the phone. That's awesome. Let's go, Sheriff. That was awesome. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. One of the reasons to watch the All-Star will be the three-point competition, including WNBA players. It's very interesting. They announced that Sabrina will shoot against Steph, but I don't know if she's actually involved in the three-point shootout. I think it's just an exhibition on the side and just the two of them. And then they'll have the three-point shootout regular just with the NBA guys. I think that they just want to have the head-to-head matchup. Now, she's going to be shooting from the WNBA line and using WNBA-sized balls. But she's also said she doesn't care. If everybody wants her to use the NBA balls and shoot from the NBA distance against Steph, she'll do it. So she doesn't, in some ways, want the WNBA settings. She wants the same settings as Steph to prove that she can beat him on his settings too. So that's an interesting point about the settings for the shootout between Steph and Sabrina. Yeah, I think that will be cool, and in some ways, I would watch it for that. That may be the one cool thing I think so far. I have to see the dunk competition participants. Marquise Noel is hurt, and he can't do the G League next up thing. Then I'm like, well, who the hell is going to represent the Raptors at All-Star Weekend this weekend in any kind of way? If it's just like that, well, then I'm with Fiercey. And I got better things I can do with the weekend. I've done watch-alongs with the All-Star Weekend in the past. I'm not going to do that. It's annoying. If I do that, I'm just going to troll them. I'm just going to troll them the whole time and make fun of everything going on there. I don't know if I'll do that. I'll have to think about how I'm going to handle the All-Star weekend, depending on how much participation our franchise has with it. Cowboys got Mo on blast. I love seeing Monique, the superfan Lawrence, on blast there. And Cowboys saying, I hope the lady wins. Yeah. Sabrina, do something good and kick Steph's ass. And, let's break some perceptions. Let's do some things and show that women can compete with men in certain ways. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Fiercey saying Kevin Durant with the new taunt, mini. Yeah, I think this is hilarious that he told them that. He was telling Nets fans preemptively, don't try and honor me. I don't want y'all to honor me. What is there to honor about what happened with me here? He's so real. In some ways, like Kevin and his outspokenness on Twitter and how he interacts with the fans is comical and hilarious and kind of surreal. As much as it was surreal to us when we sat with Scotty on Twitch and watched him for a summer, it's kind of surreal to be able to kind of interact with Kevin on Twitter. And some of the things he says to the fans is hilarious. He's like, why do I bug you so much? Like, why don't you go on with your life? Like, well, okay, yeah. Who the hell are you? Like, I can go in any room, talk basketball, and people in this world will listen to me, like Dr. J, like Shaquille O'Neal. Who the fuck's gonna listen to you, bro? Is what he's saying to common NBA fans on Twitter. It's hilarious. He's saying shit like that to them, but he's right. He's exactly right. No, he's a real one. In some ways, I have a lot more respect for Kevin, partly because of his Twitter persona and how real he is there. And him telling Brooklyn, nah, don't honor me, that was something else. I'll tell you. How many players are going to do that? Get to the point where they should probably be honored, could be honored, and they're going to refuse it. Jimmy saying Maxey has been missing time too. Nick is running them into the ground. Big dubs, baby. Yeah, it's a problem. They're losing because of this. They're missing their main guys. They're starting Patrick Beverly, for Pete's sake. For God's sake, they're starting Patrick Beverly. People saying if Lowry's going to go to Sixers to come back to Philly and be with Nick, which in some ways would make sense, they're going to have to get rid of Patrick Beverly. And I feel like Nick's got a thing going with Patrick Beverly right now. He's kind of thinking about it. He's like, well, we can't have Patrick and Kyle. We would have to get rid of Patrick Beverly probably because he wouldn't be useful after Kyle showed up. So I think that's the biggest thing that's kind of keeping the possibility of Kyle getting bought out and going to Philadelphia is that Patrick Beverly's already there. And it's kind of not necessary for Kyle to go there, partly because of Patrick. In some ways, Nick would be stabbing Patrick Beverly in the back by bringing Kyle Lowry in. I don't know. But it is funny that he's starting Patrick Beverly these days. And it's kind of ridiculous. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, I'm loving the call-in session. Very personable, making me smile lots. Yeah, we like doing this format. It's going to be the Thursday format for the whole summer this year, Cool Cat. So definitely call me if you feel like it at any show. Don't call me if you don't want to, but call me if you do. You've got that number, and we'd love to hear your voice on the show too. And sometimes it's not necessarily we're going to talk about certain Raptors content topics on certain days, but I don't mind taking calls just to talk to people and just say, hey, how you doing? And what's going on with you today? What's on your mind? And how do you feel about, whatever you want to bring up? It's great. The think tank, more thinking and talking. We're going to have more talking on the think tank in person. I love it. I love it. I love the new format too. I'm really excited about it for the summer and seeing how it develops. Maybe not every single phone call will be so happy. I'll be waiting for at some point, maybe I'll get a call from someone and it could be acrimonious. I don't know. It won't be with any of y'all, the regulars that I love and we talk all the time. But if somebody weird calls me all of a sudden and there's some entertainment to it, it could be interesting. We'll have to see. Jimmy's saying, I love Edwards. You love Edwards? I'm trying to figure out. Oh, you mean Anthony. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that he said that. Yeah, and he got fined $40,000. I mean, and then he says all my jewelry is cheap. Well, that fine isn't cheap. I'll say you that. It's like he has cheap fake jewelry, is what he admitted one day. But yeah, that fine isn't fake. And in fact, if you look at the value on the value scale of some of the fines this year, hey, Darko's 25,000 is looking great every day, considering some of the other fines we're seeing going to other people. Fiercely saying, not a fan of Embiid, but I must admit it was painful to watch him versus Golden State. He could barely run, Extremely slow on the transitions, no attempt to drive, hence no free throws. He really looked injured. Bad shape. We knew it was coming. Yeah, I mean, this is just it. I mean, we predicted this when Nick signed with them. The day after, we're like, well, Joel Embiid's knees, God have mercy on them. That's basically kind of what we were saying. And we told y'all, Sixers Nation, we told y'all last summer that something like this may get to this point. Yeah, it is what it is. In some ways, it's their dumpster fire. It's their issues to deal with. That's for sure. So you actually watched him in the last game he played, and he looked really injured. Yeah, that's probably why Kendrick's saying what he's saying. Kendrick Perkins, Cool Cat saying Halliburton in and out of the lineup throws off the entire team rhythm. With Hallie off, Pascal is a guy. Hallie doesn't know how to play with the new defensive team. Okay, this is interesting intel. I'm sure that Cool Cat's watching them pretty closely just to make sure Siakam's having a good time and doing well. So, okay, I'll take your scout on this, coach. And I can see this being true. That in some ways, Halliburton is kind of not had to cater to anybody else on the team, and he could kind of be the star. But if Siakam's there now, he's got to figure out how to play with him. And maybe he's part of the problems with their defensive weaknesses. And in some ways, he's got to figure out how to like let the other guys cover up for him. And maybe I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see when he gets fully healthy and he comes back. Jimmy's saying, and not to mention, dude throws his big body on the ground every time he makes a move. I knew the flopping could be dangerous, especially for someone that's near 300 pounds. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All that flopping around on the floor like a fish. You probably hurting yourself, Joel. The years of doing this foul baiting and stupid shit that you've been doing, flopping over. Maybe James Harden was the worst person for you to ever play with at some point because he taught you how to flop. You can blame James Harden for this, Sixers fans, is what I would say. Let's see. Cool Cat saying if Yaka, Barrett, and quickly return, then we're beating Houston. I love that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get these guys healthy and let's say hi to Fred. Yeah, I'm all about this. We got to beat MA. That's right. Maybe MA might have some extra get up and go against us too because we're too woke. I gotta beat Toronto because that damn woke city wouldn't accept me and my craziness as their coach. He's like, yeah, he knew he wasn't gonna get hired by us because we wouldn't take a philanderer like him to be our coach. Let's see. Trevor's saying we're all gonna be in Houston. I'm leaving today. Yeah, so he won't be in New York to go to the Pascal OG matchup tonight, unfortunately. Jimmy's saying I love how the Bucks are 0-2 since firing Griffin. They did that man dirty. Yeah, and it's hilarious. They went back to Portland last night. They gave Dame Lillard a bunch of ceremonies. They gave him like two, one for him as a player and one for him as a community person helping out in the community. And yeah, they lost. He lost on his return to Portland with the new badass Bucks. They lost to the Trailblazers last night. Ball don't lie. Just like with a free throw, ball don't lie. Ball don't lie sometimes in karma with games is what I'll say with this. Yeah, in some ways, like, look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Bucks Nation. I said this on a Bucks page on Facebook a couple days ago that y'all getting Doc Rivers is a fail. Seriously, this guy has the game has left him behind a couple years ago. In fact, you can ask Sixers fans. They had no confidence in Doc Rivers the last few years that he coached for them because they feel like he's an idiot, that he really doesn't know how to coach in the new NBA, that, you know, he may have been fine in the 2000s and the 2010s, but he's not in the 2020s. This game has left Doc Rivers behind, and he is not a forward-thinking coach, and y'all are going to lose because of him. He's a choke artist, and that's the sad thing. You know, you had a proven coach last year that took y'all to your first championship in a long time with Coach Budenholzer, and you were impatient. You overreacted to a first-round exit, and you canned him for no good reason. It was stupid. And in some ways, as much as Adrian was not working with y'all, he still deserved a full shot this whole season. Well, you're going to be worse off with Doc than with Adrian. Y'all are going to find that out. So, yeah, you could get what you get, Milwaukee. It's kind of hilarious, the cautionary tales we're telling about the Sixers and the Bucks today. This is another one. Yeah, fuck around with your coach too much and find out you're not getting anywhere. You're going to continue to lose. Doc Rivers is a loser. He's going to choke for y'all in the playoffs. Just ask Sixers fan. He will tell you. He will tell you. Yeah, he will. G saying, what do you think of the MVP rule in regards to playing a certain amount of games? I think this applies to all NBA now. Seems players are going to try to play through injury like Embiid and Hallie. Well, that's the thing. Kawhi, the rule was kind of made for Kawhi. And Kawhi said, you can make this rule, but it's not going to make me play more games. I'm sitting games because I have to sit games. Well, he's not sitting games this year. And it looks like he will be eligible for all postseason awards this year. You go, Kawhi Leonard. I'm so happy that if this rule was partially made for you, that you are going to be fine with it, hopefully, for the rest of the season. Knock on wood. But yeah, I mean, listen, they needed to make this rule because the players were being too lazy. And well, some ways, some people will get punished for it, and maybe not rightfully so, like Halliburton. But people that should be punished for it, like Embiid, will be. And I'll take that. I'll take that. Just you got to keep your fingers crossed, keep yourself healthy, do yourself right, show up for games and play, and don't take games off earlier in the season because it can really bite you in the ass at the end if you do have a real injury and you are going to miss some games for real. So Jimmy's saying all that dancing pregame for what? What? Alley-oop to Jimmy? All right, we'll give Jimmy an alley-oop from Canadian Cowboy. Yeah, man, it's good stuff, good fun. We'll have to see what happens with the All-Stars today. We'll have to see how the stretch run of the NBA season going into the playoffs this year, what happens with some of these top Eastern Conference teams. In some ways, the Knicks are on the rise, obviously, with the arrival of OG. And I would say that the Siakam and the Pacers are on the rise also. And that, teams like the Sixers have fallen a little bit because of their recent injuries. The Bucks, they may fall a little bit. I mean, the Celtics look like they're still pretty strong. But who knows? Things could get messed up with them a little bit this year, too. That could be interesting. G saying the Bucks are blaming coaches and not their aging role player roster. Yeah. Yeah, they in some ways, I'm just going to say this. Lillard may be an amazing offensive player, amazing shooter, a clutch guy, Dame time, all that stuff. In fact, it's funny that the Milwaukee Bucks made the little Dame time watch, and Portland never made one of those the whole entire time it was there. But I'm going to say this right now. There's something about Dame Lillard that doesn't add up to winning basketball. And that may be part of it right there. It's like, look, dude, you can blame the GM. You can blame all your teammates around you. You can blame all the years in Portland of getting nowhere. But in some ways, bro, you may need to just blame yourself. And in some ways, it may follow him to Milwaukee. It may not even matter that you're next to Anaconto, that you may be just destined to never win because you're a certain type of player. That is true. Certain types of players that are certain high usage and they're not necessarily like a certain way, they just don't win in the league sometimes. And Lillard may just be that guy. He just may be that guy. Cowboys saying we're going to beat Houston with our bench. All right, let's go, Jordan Wara. Let's go, Jonte Porter. Let's go, Jalen McDaniels, the Triple J connection off the bench. That's right, Triple J. Triple J. Let's see. Cowboys saying alley-oop the G. That's what I'm saying. Masai is a trendsetter. Raptors are doing what every team is going to have to do in the near future. Okay. So you're saying we're ahead of things because we just did a little reboot. Okay. All right. Let's give G a dunk on the terms of Canadian Cowboy. All right. Let's see. Jimmy's saying, I just feel bad for Griffin. Dude waits years for an opportunity to be a head coach, gets them a record of 30-13, only to get fired and thrown under the bus by your star players. Yeah, it is messed up. It's like, it's a cautionary tale that you can do everything the right way. You can do everything right. You can even be successful and you still get shafted. You still get shafted. I feel so bad for Adrian Griffin. In some ways, he got all the way up to this point and got that job. And in some ways, it's going to be like a death toll for him as far as his coaching career. It's like people are going to look at it and say, well, if he can't do it with Giannis and Dame, how the fuck is he going to do it for us here? He may get a shitty team a coaching job. Like maybe he coaches Charlotte. Maybe he coaches Sacramento. I hope he gets a second chance. I hope he can get some revenge on the Bucks at some point. I don't know. In some ways, it's sad too, because he has a history with that franchise and they sold him out, stabbed him in the back. That's messed up. It is messed up, Jimmy. And in some ways, I feel so bad for him, and partly because he's family with us. He was a big part of our franchise for years. He's a champion with the Raptors. And in some ways, the disrespect by the Bucks towards him is really messed up in some ways. Holy crap. Cool Cat saying, I like the minimum amount of games to win awards. It's a quality control mechanism. I like it too. Load management for playoff runs versus players who grind in regular season and worn down for the playoffs is unfair too. Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, the strategies of like, you see it with the rest at the end of the year. In some ways, you want to play most of the season, play as much as possible. And if you have games to mess with and rest because you still get over 65 at the end of the season, well, there you go. I like the players that were like, I want all 82. I want to try and play in every single game this whole entire year. If some ways, if the NBA made the schedule easier with less back to backs, less weird travel arrangements and stuff, maybe this would be easier to do. In some ways, the schedule is part of the problem. It's not that it's too long, it's just that it's not really like logically made very well. There's a lot of weird travel stuff. And with back to backs, some of the older players are really forced to miss one of those two games because of the way back to backs and recouping your body is. So, man, there's a couple of things to blame. The schedule's one of them. People don't talk about how the schedule, in some ways, all the back to backs and the jamming in of like 3 games in 4 days is going to make people miss games partly. So let's see. Cool Cat saying, I'm hoping Pascal gets in the All Star weekend. He's already got East nominee of the week. Given the challenges he's encountered this season so far, his average is 22, 1.6 rebounds, 5 assists. You know what? I think that this is going to be a weird year where nobody gets in from anywhere around the Raptors. That Scotty's not going to get in, Siakam's not going to get in, OG's not going to get in, and they're going to use our Raptors' shitty ass record as the excuse, even for the guys that are on new teams. Now, they may play like all-star level for the rest of the year on both of their teams, OG and Pascal, but it won't matter. They're going to look at the bulk of what they've done this season on this team that was losing. So I have a feeling that none of these guys are going to be all-stars, and we shouldn't expect it to happen. If Scotty's an all-star, I think he has the best chance. I really do, because I feel like Halliburton's going to get all-star for Indiana. I don't know if Indiana will get 2 all-stars. If they do, maybe Siakam's got a chance. OG's not going to get all-star with Jalen Brunson being there, and possibly Julius Randle getting an all-star also. And then, on our side, Scotty's got the best chance. And in some ways, he's got a really better chance than Siakam and Anunoby, if you ask me. But, man, I really don't like how ESPN's looking at this. Even with the injury replacements, Zach Lowe isn't putting Scotty anywhere near making the All-Star game. He's got like 3 guys. He said, I put these guys on before Scotty if there's injury replacements even. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And we know Siakam got all-star by injury replacement in recent years. It's kind of bullshit, man. I'm with the idea of expanding the all-star rosters and making them bigger. In some ways, the rosters of NBA teams has expanded. There's more teams in the league. And if they did 15 and 15, that might be better than 12 and 12. And I could get behind that. So in some ways, I'm about like expanding the all-star rosters. And a lot of other people are talking about it too and trying to push for it. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, I think Pascal was number 11 on votes. Yeah, I'm not sure who was what was what at the end of the votes. Monique saying, great call in so far. Yeah, Mo, call me if you feel like it. I don't know how you're feeling today. If you want to call and talk to us on the phone, I would love it. It's up to you, though. I know you may be shy to call on the phone, but I would love to get a call from Monique Lawrence and on the call-in show at any point, anytime, if you feel like it. Cool Cat saying, I think players mess up their brand by playing with the Lakers. Yeah. If they lose, they get trashed in the media for affecting LeBron. You become so disposable, laugh out loud. I think this is a true thing. I think this is part of the byproduct that has affected people like Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Kuzma, D'Angelo Russell, people like that get jerked around like that. I think this is very true. And it really is like the LeBron people are crazy. Like in some ways, LeBron people, LeBron sexuals, as some people have put in this channel, are very much like MAGA people. They're blindly following and worshiping LeBron, and he could do no wrong. And in some ways, he directs them to who he wants them to go after or get mad at. And if LeBron's mad at somebody or upset with someone, these fans go crazy and they go after them. And that's kind of the phenomena with it. But yeah, also the LA media probably is a big participant in this phenomena. Also, Cool Cat saying, "I don't mean to be mean, but I was laughing at Bucks last night with Doc Rivers ending game logic after ousting Griffin in that manner, no longer supporting the Bucks, defending our Raptors alumni." Yeah, I'm with you on this. Honestly, Bucks, you had a bit of the Raptors nation rooting for you because we like Coach Griff. But now at this point, y'all are a villain for stabbing him in the back and treating him like this. I have no allegiance to y'all to root for y'all for this season. I was rooting for y'all because of your coach. And now I hate Doc Rivers. And I think that what you did was fucked up to Coach Griffin. So I'm totally with Cool Cat on this. I'll turn my back on the Bucks and any kind of secondary support I might have for them and wishing good things for them in the playoffs is gone. But I'm not worried about this now because they made their bed. They're going to lie in it. It's Doc Rivers, bro. You know what he does in the playoffs, Bucks Nation. Yeah, you're going to find out for yourself. You let all these other teams get him at certain times. Boston, the Clippers, Orlando, the Sixers. Yeah, they've all learned in the playoffs about Doc Rivers in the playoffs. You're going to be the next team to learn. And you'll find out this year. Yeah. Cool Cat saying Bucks need youthful, fast defenders at point of attack to cover up for no defense. Dame can't have Dame and Beasley on the court at the same time. Yeah, this is where they miss Drew Holiday. They seriously miss Drew Holiday. What idiots! You know, in some ways, the Dame Lillard trade really kind of screwed up the East because in some ways, okay, it was fool's gold to think the Bucks are just this and this. Their record's good, but I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. But the fact that Portland turned around and traded Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics afterwards is a complete disaster. Is a complete disaster for the Eastern Conference team. So in some ways, Bucks, you getting Lillard was a mess up. It was a mess up. Y'all were better off with Holiday, honestly, because now he's on the Celtics and he's making them better. You idiots. Chris is here. Hey, y'all. Knock, knock. Who's there? Doc. Doc who? Doc says, get to the hospital as you are a choke job. Chris, I'm going to give you a 3-pointer for ridiculously funny, silly knock-knock joke. This is crazy. Chris, I hope you would call me, man. Call me on the phone right now. Call me on the call-in show, my man, and tell me some jokes in person. I want to hear some jokes over the phone. Chris, come on, man. You got my number. Give me a call. It's in the community tab if you feel like calling. Cowboys laughing too. Let's see. Monica's here. Good to see. Not Raptors related, but there's a documentary coming out tomorrow on Dylan Brooks on TSN. Listen, that's not Raptors related, but that's Team Canada related. And if it's Team Canada related, it is welcome here for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. I kind of really want to see this. I want to hear the stories of how Dylan became Dylan. Was he just like this when he was a kid? Like, I wonder about young little Dylan Brooks in like grade school and playing basketball. What was he like? How did he play? In some ways, Chris has said from his days with him in Oregon, he's always been like this. This is just who he is. Well, I wonder what young Dylan was like. So hopefully we'll find out more on the documentary released about Team Canada hero, the villain Dylan. That villain to many, many other people, but not to Houston Rockets fans, not to Toronto, not to Canada fans of Team Canada. So yeah, Dylan Brooks, you are a hero in this country. Down south, yeah, you're number one villain. I want to see the origin story. Jimmy saying, and my dancing comment was because the first game without Griffin, the whole Bucks team was dancing pregame, acting all excited. Straight disrespect. That's messed up. I didn't know that, Jimmy. Wow. Wow, that's sad. In some ways, it's like, honestly, I know Adrian's a nice guy. He's a good dude. And them rejecting him is kind of fucked up. Honestly, it is messed up. They should have done a better job. Obviously, the Bucks didn't do the kind of job sussing out whether their coach is the right person for their team like we did. We may have taken 4 months, but we made sure we got that shit right. And maybe y'all should have been a little bit more in depth in your research and figuring out whether Adrian Griffin was the right fit instead of wasting everybody's time, including his. Yeah, man, that's messed up. I don't like hearing that, Jimmy. And shame on the Bucks for being like that. Chris is saying, knock, knock. Who's there? Doc. Doc who? Doctor, someone better call 911 as I'm dying at laughter here. I cannot believe the Bucks did what he did. Lost to Portland Trailblazers. Haha, no more, I promise. No, we're asking for more. All right, I'm going to give you just one dunk for that one. Because I do want to encourage this, actually, though. I like these dumb knock-knock jokes. Cowboys saying give it an alley oop to Chris and Jimmy. All right, I'll give one to Jimmy. I already gave one to Chris. Jimmy's getting his 5th dunk of the year. All right. All right. Knock knock jokes are happening today. Let's see. Cowboy with them alley oops. I'm with it. There you go. There you go. Dap. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Carlos here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Carlo JS. Coaching carousel strikes again. Ha ha. Ha ha. Doc Rivers. Ha ha. Ha ha. Yeah, you idiot. Let's see. Chris is saying this may sound dumb, and it's not hate, but I think the NBA is going to be better off without LeBron. I can nearly say the same about Curry, but that wouldn't be nice. It's LeBron's weird control in the NBA. I'm working, laugh out loud. I can listen, but I can't talk. Okay, you can't call me right now. That's too bad. But yeah, okay, you're at work. You know what? I think you're right, Chris. I think that the NBA will be vastly different once LeBron steps away. In some ways, it revolves around him, and in some ways, he's toxic. He's toxic. It's evidenced by the Lakers and their output and the way they play year after year. In some ways, LeBron is toxic as a person. And it's not that he's not toxic to his family. He's not toxic in like everyday life as far as like some of his outside endeavors with philanthropy and just amazing things that he does. He's toxic in the NBA. He's toxic on the court. He's toxic with his kind of like airs to himself and how he carries himself and how the media portrays him and covers him is very toxic. So yeah, a lot of that'll clear out. That'd be better. In some ways, I don't know about the Steph Curry part that you're adding on in there. In some ways, I don't see him being as much a thing. In some ways, Steph's legacy is different. So I don't know. I don't know. Kevin's here. Good to see Kevin. Hi, Raptor Freak. Long time. Good to see you again, Kevin. Good to see you drop in. Hey, let's talk Raptors. It's the Thursday Think Tank. It's a call-in show. So people can call me on the phone. If they've got the number, they've got access, they can call me. But yeah, Kevin, write in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking today and what's going on in your world and what you think about Raptor stuff right now. Jimmy's saying Zach Edey with a monster game last night. You know, they're talking about like if we could change some of the rules in the NBA, Zach Edey could be a very serviceable player in the league. There's a couple of rules. I think it's the 5-second rule, or the illegal defense rule. If they could change that, if you had Zach Edey, holy crap, he'd be very, very powerful. I'm glad he stayed for another year to play for Purdue. I think that was a very, very wise choice. I think that with so many people coming out early and coming way too early, the reverse of staying and getting more schooling and getting more seasoned is smart. So, Zach, you keep going. And I want to see you drafted by the Raptors this spring. I don't care if he's too slow or something like that. He's working on his, he hears the criticism about his game and why it wouldn't work in the NBA, and he is working on it. He has become more agile, more up and down the court. I see the way he plays, and he wants to break the naysayers' case against him being an NBA player. He wants to make it so that he is an NBA player. I know for a fact that Zach's doing this. And hopefully we will take a gamble and maybe draft the young Canadian and get him in a Raptors jersey. I would love that. I would love that so much. I would love that so much. Cool Cat saying Dylan on the court is a villain persona. Off the court, he's a very nice person. I love my Dylan villain. Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character. He's definitely the modern age Rodman right now. And, in some ways, the league needs a Rodman. There's always been kind of a villain, like a meta world peace, something like that. And then, Dylan's fitting the T right now. Yeah, he's a Dylan villain to many people, but he's a hero to us. That's for damn sure. And he's always a welcome subject on this channel. Carlos saying, I saw a meme about Giannis finding out Adrian wanted his brother shipped out. That's why he wanted Adrian gone. That's probably just a joke, Carlo. There may not be any truth to it. I mean, there are a lot of funny jokes about Giannis, about him being on the team and him being on getting a roster spot and stuff like that. I mean, in some ways, that's the kind of stuff that tells you what you need to know about Giannis's power. The fact that both of his brothers are in the organization and are involved in it. And it's very much like him saying, yeah, I want Alex here. I want my brother here. Yeah, they've got to be on the team. You better sign my brother to a $3 million a year contract. If you don't, then I'll be mad. I was like, but we're not going to use him. He's not very good. He's my brother. How dare you say he's not very good? Shit like that. Cowboys got Darko on blast. I love it. Most saying, in reference to the documentary, it's tonight. Okay, so it's on tonight. Okay, cool. I'll have to try and see if I can find it online or find it somewhere and watch it myself. Infamous is saying, not true. Misinformation. That pregame dance is something they do regularly for every game. Nothing to do with the firing. Okay, well, that's good information from Infamous on the Milwaukee dancing. That it wasn't them dancing on the grave of their coach that just got fired. No, it wasn't that. Okay, this is good to suss out the truth. Cool Cat saying yes, the Bucks dance in the first game with Griffin is so uncouth, unprofessional. I expected better from Giannis. Terrible. Now egg on the first straight losses since Doc showed up. Yeah, well, Cool Cat Infamous is saying that that's just a regular thing that they do no matter what. And it really wasn't tied to Griff, but I mean, it does optically look bad, I guess. Cowboy saying yes and yes to Cool Cat, and Jimmy saying okay, okay, Infamous. I saw a post on Reddit, someone just trying to spread drama. Then this is an important thing to figure out, and that's part of the reason why I love this channel. Is we all kind of see things and we get information at different places. But sometimes the information is hearsay. Sometimes it's just a funny meme. Sometimes it's something that isn't actually true. Sometimes it's speculation, like Kendrick Perkins on Joel Embiid. And well, we make a more well-rounded, educated, informed ideas from people like Infamous coming in and say, well, this is actually what they do every game. It's not anything special. So it's important to see the whole picture. The whole picture. Kevin saying, I think we should trade Gary, Boucher, Dennis, and Bruce Brown. Yeah, why so many? And why all those guys? I don't know why we have to trade all of them. I feel like Dennis Schroeder is a really good player for us to continue to have for years to come. I'm really anti-trading Boucher. I've talked about this a lot. You know, he's Canadian. I like having Canadian players on the team. He's loyal to us. He's on a good contract. And, you know, he's a very serviceable type of role player that helps the team. Plus, he's our last guy who played on the championship team that has a ring. I don't want to totally like destroy or get rid of those guys on our team. I'm already upset that OG and Pascal and Fred are gone. It's like we had 4 championship ring bearers at the end of the year last year, and now 3 of those 4 are gone, and Chris is the last one. I'm okay with trading Bruce. Gary, right now, I don't want to trade him. There's too much built up with him and Scotty. And in some ways, we'll have to see. The Gary decision, I'm 50-50 on. Either way. Like, I'd rather keep Gary. But if he is somebody we part with this summer for whatever reason, I won't be too upset. But Dennis and Chris, I want to keep. I want to keep them around. Cowboys saying, didn't know that, Infamous. There you go. See, Infamous is dropping knowledge on us. And we're getting a more well-rounded perspective of the truth. Chris is saying, hope Yak makes a sudden return. In Toronto, the Raptors did reign. Their victory brought joy, not pain. Against the Rockets, they soared. Their victory roared. To triumph, they dunked in the lane. Chris is very epic words he's using there. The Cowboys saying, let's go Raptors. And Fiercey saying, Steph Curry is a competitor and, in my opinion, engages with the crowd to give an exciting experience at games. LeBron is more into individual performance and straight up about money and brawny, legacy versus passion. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to bring up whether these guys leave. I think that the league will be better off when LeBron and Kevin leave. I think Kevin is the other guy that should be in that sentence, not Steph Curry. That Kevin Durant is somebody, even though I was talking glowingly about him being real and all this stuff, I think he's somebody who needs to leave because that era needs to be over. In some ways, Kevin Durant signifies a lot of the issues of the superstar era that we're hopefully moving out of when these guys leave. The superstar era of prima donnaism. Like in some ways, him, Harden, and LeBron, when those 3 leave, maybe Kyrie too. Put Kyrie on that list too. When those guys are gone, those guys kind of are the testament of the problematic, really crazy superstars that were really like wreaking havoc and hurting the game in all kinds of different ways. It was Kevin leaving his team to go to the Warriors, LeBron and how he's hurt the game. You know, James Harden and Kyrie have both hurt the game in different ways on their own too. So yeah, these superstars that have been so important to the game that have actually hurt the game, when they leave, that'll be good in some ways, I think. And hopefully the new guys that come into their places and take those places of prominence will be more respectful and responsible in how they treat the game and the legacy of it, and how going forward they leave it in a better place. Because in some ways you could argue that LeBron and Kevin and that generation has left the NBA in a worse place than where they came into it. They came into the league around the end of the 2000s, and really, honestly, the league is worse off in the 20 years since LeBron James started in this league. Honestly, that's the damn truth. I mean, you could ask most NBA fans that have watched the NBA since the 90s. They will tell you that the league is worse since LeBron James' rookie year to the year now. They would agree with me. Chris is saying that the Curry comment was only due to the feeling I have about him bringing so many three-pointers in the league. Yeah, that effect in some ways is detrimental, but in some ways, some people really love it and think that it's been good. I'd rather like post play and interior play, but Curry is the best shooter ever. Total respect. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, his effect on the game may have been destructive in some ways, but not in a malicious way. It's just like he excelled so much as a three-point shooter. He completely changed the game. When people say that Steph Curry influenced the game like Shaq or Wilt Chamberlain or those kind of names, they're right. And in some ways, it's not that it's a good or bad thing. It's just that it's a thing that happened. And maybe some people will be like, this is a bad thing because I like post and like what Chris is saying. But it's the way it is now. It's like a Pandora's box. Once you open it, you can't close it. And it's just going to be this way now. The NBA is very centered around the three. And it is really Steph Curry's fault. If you want to blame someone, you can blame him. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see what else y'all are saying in here. La 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 la. No, 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 no. Cool Cat saying, yeah, Eddie dropped the weight to be more mobile on the court. I applaud his effort to adapt. Yeah, let's hope the Raptors get Eddie. We need 3 centers. Yeah, I'm all about it. And we know he'd be loyal. I think he'd really enjoy playing for the Raptors. I think that it would be like a dream come true for him. And it would be a lot of fun. Kevin's saying, just to let you know that I'm Kawhi Leopard. You remember me now. Laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, I remember your handle from before. You were Kawhi Leopard from way, way back. Holy crap. You were here like 2 years ago. And I haven't seen you in a bit. Kevin, I'm glad you're back. Kawhi Leopard. Yeah, it's just good to see you, my man. Kareem saying, great game between Kentucky and Florida. I'm trying to understand why is it that these kids are able to fight through screens and play tight man-to-man, but NBA players don't? Is it because of the money? What, the money in college now? That's an interesting comment, Kareem. So there's a really good college game between Kentucky and Florida. Well, those are top SEC schools. And yeah, there's a lot of pride in both those programs in history. A lot. Kentucky is probably more prominent and more illustrious in their history. But Florida has national championships and a very big history also with people like Billy Donovan, who we just saw coaching the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, that's a big time matchup. And there's a lot of eyes on that. And what is it? It's not March yet. It's still February. But it's coming soon enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see the game to be able to comment on this exactly, Kareem. But the money in college may be changing things in this way. Cowboy saying, Kareem, call in, bro. Okay, Cowboy wants you to call me. If anybody wants to call in, you can call at any time. I'll answer the phone and put you on the air. It's the Thursday Think Tank live call-in show, first thing in the morning on Thursday. Yeah, Jimmy's saying all people are offering for Gary are second-round picks and not worth trading him. Yeah, I'm not. You know, the Lakers really were interested in him. I've heard them talk about him, Gary Trent Jr. But if they're only offering second-round picks, I mean, there's certain players on their team maybe we would take, but I don't know. Right now, Gary's stock should be up because we won the last game and he kicked a lot of ass. Cool Cat saying, I would love Boucher to stay on the team. Scotty and Boucher's relationship, I would trade everyone on the bench except for Boucher. Gary costs too much. Dennis break the Darko alliance. Porter's toes. Yeah, I like Dennis and Darko's alliance. I think that that's good. I don't think it's a bad thing. Some people have been critical of Dennis being a teacher's pet with Darko, but I think that this has been necessary and helpful and has really helped Darko, get established as the Raptors coach. In some ways, you need somebody you absolutely trust, has your back on the team, and that can be the kind of teammate and leader on the team that will really help get the guys behind you. In some ways, one of the hardest things for a coach is to get the trust of the players. And by getting Dennis immediately, he trusted Darko already. He can help get the trust immediately with the other guys. So in some ways, Dennis was essential for our season this year to help Darko get the guys to trust him. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Some people have been really mad because they're like, he's giving favoritism to Dennis. He's giving favoritism to Dennis. And I'm like, yeah, but Dennis is honestly somebody who really understands what he's done in the past and can apply it and help these guys understand it faster. So in some ways, the preference and the things given to Dennis are because he is helping fast track learning everything because he played under Darko systems before. He understands his philosophies and he can better teach it to the younger guys and the other guys on the team because of that. So that criticism of Dennis being a teacher's pet with Darko has bugged me all season. You know, coaches have special relationships with certain players, and that's a good thing. Those kind of connections actually help you win. It's better for the coach and the a player to be very close, like those two guys, than to be at odds and not like each other. So, in some ways, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, Porter, we'll see what happens with him this offseason. Gary, we'll have to see what the price is as far as him. Jimmy's saying if we get a player, it would most likely be someone that wouldn't even touch the rotation. That's the trade market for him right now, for Gary. Well, in some ways, we're better off holding on to him and getting and doing what we're doing right now. He's starting, he's playing starter level kind of stuff. And then, hey, keep him as a starter. If we're not going to get anybody that's even rotation worthy, Chris is saying at Kevin, we can't package Brown with anyone, can we? No, he's got to be traded by himself, and that's fine. That's fine. He's got a lot of money tied up in him, $22 million. And in some ways, that's not chump change. That's a big thing that you can trade for a lot if you get the right person. Most saying 2 nights of the draft. It's official. My thoughts on it? I like it. I think it's really good. They're going to do 2 different locations. In some ways, I get that because maybe they don't need a huge location for the second part. The first night, they'll have the crowd and everybody will be in there and they'll watch it. The second night, it may be a little more closed off. I like it because those nights get too long when they do both the rounds in one night. Sometimes they go into like 3 a.m. So this is just better for people if they really want to watch the whole draft to like have it split up 2 nights. In some ways, they make it more of an event. They can do other things around it and make it more of a thing because there's 2 nights. You know, the NBA will always figure out ways to like, even if it's more nights or more this, well, how can you make more money off of it? And I think the 2 nights of the NBA draft is smart and good. And I'm looking forward to not having to stay up really late to see what the Raptors' second round picks are going to be. In fact, it'll be cool because we'll get to pick probably the first pick on the second night. They'll come out and the first pick will be the Raptors in that Detroit pick. Yeah. Let's see. Cowboys saying, what's your guess on where Bruce goes? To a contender? We've heard, I don't know. I've heard like the Lakers. I've heard, the Knicks want him, which is interesting. And they're trying to say Evan Fournier for Bruce Brown. I don't know where he would land. I don't know if he doesn't stay with us. In some ways, I can also see the route of him staying with the Raptors right now. That last game was a really good balance between his offense and defense, and he was really showing some interesting stuff. But once again, I'll say Bruce Brown is like an extra, is a trimmings. It's kind of like you add him on top of what you've already got, and you're going to win. He's an essential, like main cog of our team, we're in trouble. He needs to be like an extra on the outside, gravy, that kind of just adds on top to help you really get over the top with the X factors. In some ways, if you're relying on him to be like starter and really important, like main person on your team, you're fucked. And in some ways, that's what we're doing right now. And that's no good. And that's why he needs to go to a better team with better talent that's at a higher level. Let's see. No. Infamous is saying we have to be careful not to turn into trade addicts looking for a fix. Rehab may be necessary for some of these addicts. Laugh out loud. I'm going to give you a dunk because I do feel like this is an addiction that is weird in the NBA world these days. How people are so addicted to trade talk, trade speculation, mock trades, talking about the next trade. They see one trade, they want the next trade. Kareem Thomas and I were talking about how in some ways it's serotonin released from the idea of newness. It's like we're getting trained by our apps and our games on our phone with little happy feelings from like getting prizes. Well, getting trades is kind of like that same serotonin boost. And yeah, I think that this is true. You may think the words addict, like what he said, are strong words for this, but no, I agree. This is the right word, that you can be addicted to trades, and people need to go to rehab for trade addiction. Jimmy's saying trading one of our only two 40% shooters for a second round pick would be a huge L. I want Rui Hashimura for Bruce from the Lakers. Yeah, Jimmy's very big on not trading Gary. And I'm leaning really on his side more these days. David's saying, agree, Jimmy. And that 2029 draft pick of theirs, doubt they'll do it, though. Yeah, 2029 draft pick. Yeah, it's like their only draft pick that they've got anytime soon, the Lakers. Let's see. David's also saying, I think there is a decent chance they will. They're delusional. I always think they have a chance to win the chip. There you go. All right, y'all, going to have the last chance to call me because I'm going to go off the air if there's nothing else to talk about. So if you do want to call me, look for the number on the community tab on this channel or in the Facebook chat in our Facebook group on Facebook right now. Let me just once more recap. The Raptors 905 lost the Maine Celtics 136-95. It was just depressingly bad and just a rout right from the start. Really, really bad team stats for the team in general. They shot 42%. Meanwhile, the Celtics shot 58. They made 8 threes, and the Celtics made 18 threes, shooting at 51%. They only shot 44% at the free throw line, 4 of 9, absolutely dreadful. They got out rebounded by 9. They only had 23 assists. They got way less steals and blocks. They had 16 turnovers. Yeah, just a routed. They allowed 74 points for the team, the Maine Celtics in the paint. Just really, really bad game. The 3 stars I had in that bad game, Jayshawn Page, Mogi, and Kyra Lewis Jr. were the 3 best in that. I'm really surprised to see the Trailblazers beat the Bucks last night. That's interesting. The Bulls bounced back and beat the Hornets in their game. Cleveland got their players back and they beat Detroit. That's Garland and Mobley were both back. Unfortunately, we only saw the Cavaliers once during the time when these guys were out. And when we see them again, they're going to be back now. Clippers went into Washington and won. Miami breaking their losing streak, beating the Sacramento Kings. The Pelicans beat the Rockets. So the Rockets are going to be coming off a loss when we play them on Friday. Minnesota beat the Dallas Mavericks. Orlando beating Wemby and the Spurs. And Oklahoma City beating the champs in a matchup last night of top Western teams, the Thunder over the Nuggets. The Suns over the Nets. Yeah, that's the other game. Yeah, kind of looking around the league at some of the games that happened last night. Let's see. Kareem saying Bruce should stay unless we get a great deal. He's still under contract for 1 more year. I'm also keeping Gary Trent Jr. His number is going to be so cheap. Kind of stuck in a gray area between the two. And peace from Jimmy Pope. I would say this. Bruce Brown's contract next year is a team option. So even if we keep him this summer, we could cut him loose and say, we're not keeping you for the next year. And he just walks. And that money just gets freed up on our salary cap. So in some ways, I guess trading him for valuable stuff right now because he's expiring may be smart. But also we could give him a tryout for the rest of the year. If he does do well, we could just keep him on his team option. But if he doesn't, we have the option to say, yeah, we're not paying you this and you're a free agent. You can go do whatever you want. So there's a lot of flexibility with Bruce Brown and the situation he's in right now. Monique is saying, I see a picture of Kyle Lowry online in a Lakers jersey. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. We're just going to have to wait. I really do have kind of my fingers crossed for Kyle Lowry that he doesn't end up somewhere that I hate. I really don't want him to go to a team that I really hate right now. I really don't. And the Lakers, the Celtics, or the Sixers would be really horrible places for him to go. Cowboys saying later, Lex and Raptor Freaks, bam, have a safe day. Yeah, blessed day. Thank you, Cowboy. I appreciate you. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, I talked about Kendrick Perkins talking about how he thinks that the Sixers should shut down Joel Embiid for the rest of the season. I mean, he may be right. We talked about Marc Gasol retiring after 20 years of professional basketball playing. Really, really proud of you, Mark. Really, really proud of Marc Gasol and his connection to our team. And yeah, if you guys have any fantasy teams in our fantasy league, go check on them and keep up with them so you can compete against a lot of great teams in that league. A lot of great teams. W Stream Lex, thanks. You keep at it. All right. Thank you, Monique. All right. With that note, I'm going to wrap it up. Tomorrow, we'll have the preview for the Houston Rockets game, Raptors versus Rockets in Houston. It'll be a good time. And I appreciate Fiercey and Seymour for calling me today. It's the last chance. If you guys want to call me, this is your last chance right now. We can get one more call in if you do call me right this second. But otherwise, I'm going to sign off. And I appreciate y'all for being here. And I'll be back tomorrow. Kareem can't call right now. He's working. He's probably busy right now. All right. Peace, love, and understanding. Y'all, Tada Services. 647-833-6844. If you need any cleaning or remodeling or help around your house, handyman's are available. And that's Bradley and his brother. So call for a free quote at 647-833-6844. And if you are a Raptor Freak family member, you will probably get a discount, is what Bradley has said. So yeah, they'll help you with a lot of stuff. And no job, you'd be surprised how much they do all around and all encompassing. All right, y'all, let's go Raptors. Let's go the age of Darko, the age of Scotty Barnes, and the future of the Raptors going forward is very, very bright. And we're going to be winning more and more as time goes on. Now, we may lose a lot right now, but over time, we're going to win way more. Yeah, thank you, Bradley. Tada, for sure. Call us Tada Services. All right, y'all, let's go Raptors.